in my opinion, ZAPTEST is a must-see demo for all of the engineering leaders, just to understand what's happening in the industry and what's at the forefront of the test automation with AI. So just to even get an idea of where we are, and we're already far into using the AI for test automation. So definitely recommend seeing the demo.
Welcome to ZAPTALK, Automation Unfiltered, a monthly podcast for QA leaders where software testing, automation, and cutting-edge tech collide. I'm your host, Joe Colantonio, joined by the visionary behind it all, Alex ZAP, founder of ZAPTEST. Together, we're here to spark meaningful conversations that matter in today's tech-driven world. Ready to level up your testing game and avoid BS? Get ready to get zapped. Hey, welcome to episode 6 of ZAPTALK. I'm your host, Joe Colantonio, as always, joined by the very awesome co-host, Alex ZAP. Hey, Alex, welcome.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Tatyana. Как дела? Рад тебя видеть. Joe, we had a surprise for you. We decided to run this show today in Russian.
Okay.
We both speak the language, you know.
Oh, boy, I'm in
We
trouble.
want to make it interesting for viewers.
You can use the AI translator.
Right.
Yeah, right. Awesome.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Right. Tatyana, thanks for joining us. It's a great pleasure. I can tell it's an honor. It's our, 6th episode, right?
Yes.
And you're the first woman joining the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So great to have you, Tatyana. I know you're a director of quality engineering. You're also the CEO, and I think the co-founder of Innovative QA Events, which seems really cool. So I'm just curious to know, and it seems like I've known you for a while, but we just connected on LinkedIn. For the folks that don't know, maybe a little bit about your journey, how you got into testing.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll start with, I've studied math and computer science back in Russia and decided to specialize in, computer science and programming, started writing programs and kind of fell in love with it. And that's when I interviewed with Microsoft, and they brought me in to Redmond from all the way from Novosibirsk, Siberia, and offered a job of SDET. Right. So I didn't know what an SDET is at that time. It was kind of was Microsoft US thing. Russia, I don't think we had SDET at that time. It was 2001. So they brought me in as an SDET. I started writing code to test different programs. I was working at MSN in my early days. And that's how it started. I kind of tried to leave quality a few times and considered different paths like a product management and whatnot. But somehow I still stick around, and so far 24 years in, and I'm still loving it. And so I'm still here.
That's awesome. So how did you meet Alex then?
Networking is a very powerful tool that I'm a big fan of. And so actually, my co-organizer, Milan, for the Seattle Innovate QA conference, reached out to Alex, I believe, to ask him if he wants to be a sponsor for our conference. And so we set up a meeting. Alex thought that it's a demo meeting, so he started showing us his product. And we're like, no, wait, Alex, we want you to be our sponsor. And so anyway, one thing led to another. We just started talking, and here we are.
Love it. So what do you think of Alex's demo then? Were you convinced?
I love what Alex is doing, and I've seen a lot of tools which do AI test automation, right? I would say Alex is there at the forefront of that innovation and that runway that will get us to the point where AI is going to be our friend in the test automation on a daily basis. So I think they have a lot of features that other tools don't. So they manage a lot of things like environments, the mobile testing, scaling the mobile testing automation, right? So they have a very advanced kind of like tool from what I've seen on the market. So super excited for that.
Love it. So Tatyana, I know you speak with a lot of people as well. You run a lot of events. You probably speak with a lot of sponsors. What's the sense that you're getting now with AI in the market? I know people seem like it's oversaturated, but do you see people coming to your events going, oh, we need to learn more about AI? Or are they saying, enough about AI?
The audience is, of course, is a little bit oversaturated with talks about AI. And we intentionally didn't want to have too many talks on AI. But we wanted to give people a taste of what's happening in the AI and test automation. So People are definitely getting a lot of information about it, but they're still hungry. Like if we have an AI topic in our event, the people who at our attendance is going to go high. So, and there's so many AI meetups that are happening. They get like 200, 300 people attending, right? Like it's amazing. And people are from all of the industries come to learn about AI in tech meetups. So I definitely think that there's a lot of information floating, but it doesn't hurt. It's actually great for us to focus on it, right? Like put our minds together. How are we going to develop this future with AI, and what should we do about quality and AI together, right? So I think it's a good time where we all can put our heads together, focus on it, and figure out how to move forward with that.
Love it. So, Alex, it's a good point. Tatyana brings up something I've been hearing more about now recently is AI with quality. So like a higher level rather than just low-level testing. So what does that mean to you when you hear AI and quality? Is that something you would focus in on as well?
Oh, for sure. I mean, so basically AI is everywhere now, right? And we already live in it. So my goal is basically to push it a little bit farther. And this is my point of view. And I intentionally invited Tatyana to this episode to discuss. First of all, Tatyana, I want to, through your career, I want to praise all the women in tech. I can tell you a little secret. My career be shadowed by two very powerful American tech executive females that I still deliver my technology to prove myself right, not to disappoint them. And I've been glad that they trusted me. But more than that, based on the subject, I see a huge shift next year in the overall industry, where boards of directors will be optimizing productivity and will be cutting, basically squishing their budgets, right? So, and as a director of QA, I wanted to reverse the question a little bit. Do you see that quality assurance departments, especially test automation departments, will need to deliver more than what they're doing right now? How do you see 2026 in the quality assurance industry, having AI around, having the pressure of delivering more with what you got?
Yes. Thank you for the question, and thank you for, Women in Tech note. I'm a big, I love to empower women in tech. So let's see how we can make women more successful with AI and the tools like yours, right? So next year, look, we already, AI, quality is always cutting budgets, right? And with the current market situation where there was so many layoffs, quality kind of pays the price, right? I've talked to my friends who lead consulting quality companies, and they're saying their sales are down like 30% in the last 2-3 years, right? Because companies are cutting costs on quality with the kind of economic situation and with the market being down in tech in general. That's happening, right? So this is where AI can save the world. Let's find a way to use AI to help quality and make us the stars of the show with the limited resources that we always get. And so next year is going to be, like you said, even worse in a way that the companies will try to use AI to optimize their, development cycles and the quality cycles. So definitely quality has to pay attention to it and use this technology to the best of our advantage that we can and be on top of it. We always have to be a little bit ahead of development because we always get less resources and we always kind of like the second wave of innovation. But I encourage everyone to join the first wave of innovation and be ahead of development in adopting AI.
C-level leaders don't have time for long demos, so we built something better. Meet our Alex ZAP avatar, your AI-powered automation agent, ready to answer your questions in real time. Want to know how ZAPTEST can optimize your business? Need insights on automation without scheduling a call? Just ask our AI agent. No wait times, No commitments, just instant expert answers when you need them. Chat with our Alex ZAP avatar now and get the answers you need on your time.
I was just saying, why would someone want to embrace AI if they're going to be replaced by it? But because that's pretty scary. If I'm a tester and I hear 20% workforce reduction next year, you're like, as a tester, what should I do then? Should I hype up AI and say, yeah, it can replace me? Or like, how do I make it so, what's the messaging I give to my team? Like, is there going to be a reduction? Don't reduce me, because testing is more than just this AI bot doing what it's doing.
Look, I always think that the job security comes from being the most efficient. So instead of saying, hey, you need me as a tester because you cannot survive without me and I'm going to be finding all of your bugs, you have to say, if we want to deliver a quality code, here's what we need to do. And here's the technologies that we need to use. And so in this case, it doesn't matter what each individual tester is going to say. The AI is going to take over their jobs no matter what. And if you're not using it, then you're going to be out. And if you're using it, you're going to be one of the ones who stays. So you better get on it, right? The sooner, the better. You should sell it to your company, right? And you should say like, hey, let's make us more efficient and let's use this tool like ZAPTEST and let's make us more efficient. And this is how you keep your job.
Absolutely. So, but I can add to this. My vision for near future, it's hard to predict the far future because AI leapfrogging very fast. We as a vendors, as a toolers, and I speak to myself, we walking like on the mainland, mainland right now. We don't know how the next week gonna turn around technology-wise, right? So, and we developing the technology with for the most extreme case scenario, right? So in case, for example, when the board of directors gonna push the executives to cut the budgets, and that's gonna come to you as a director of QA, and then we just contemplate scenario. I want to get your feedback on that. So the first thing what you're gonna do, you're probably gonna cut off consultants, right? Because it's the easiest echelon of professionals to cut in the large institution. So the consultants predominantly are the skill set of the higher skilled, I should say, in many organizations, automators. Usually the automators are the consultants that come with the trained skills and delivering services automating. Permanent employees usually doing a lot of manual testing as a subject matter expert. That's based on what we see in the market. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
All right. So considering this a chain of thought, in order for you as a director of QA, as a leader of the organization for a large enterprise, one of the ways to deliver the same or even more with what you got, with the less per se, and the different skill set, it's the way to employ smart technology that will allow you to empower you subject matter expert, that predominantly mostly manual testers and less technical personnel, to deliver automation using AI, using technology that's driven on autonomous automation, pretty much. Does make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So this is the one aspect. Another aspect that I would recommend for all the automators to think of, we're still 6 months ahead of the new year, right? Of the budgets to be kicking off in most organizations. So, and as Tatyana said, you're absolutely right. You have to prove your worth, if you will, right? So you need to deliver always above of what you expected. And one of the approaches, if you have well-established automation culture in your organization, despite of who drives it and what tools you have, one of the ways to deliver more productivity for your organization is to do beyond testing. And I've always been advocating center of excellences, where you can arrange organization for software automation across the department within your institution, within your company, right? That may incorporate all the best practices for automation, all the culture of automation, from DevOps to business operation, to operational groups, to let your automators or the groups that seasoned and basically set for automation to deliver operational automation for operational processes. So this way, you justifying the man hours and the budget that's been left by your organization for automation altogether.
In today's rapidly evolving digital world, the integration of DevOps and BizOps is transforming into a powerful software automation center of excellence. For over 30 years, enterprises have relied on automated development processes to produce high-quality products. Now, AI-driven innovations are speeding up coding and improving precision, even as budget constraints and evolving roles challenge conventional methods. Introducing ZAPTEST.AI, an innovative solution that elevates automation to new heights. This intelligent technology enables manual testers and operational team members to evolve into skilled automation experts, quickly creating and deploying advanced scripts while safeguarding critical human insights. As teams evolve, a software automation center of excellence is emerging, a hub where cutting-edge technology and expert talent converge to drive operational excellence and innovation. Embrace the future of smart automation. To learn more, visit our contact page and ask your questions directly to Alex ZAP Avatar, our real-time AI expert.
So, Tatyana, I guess the question is then, quality centers of excellence around software automation quality used to be a big thing when I started out around the same time as you. And I've seen them fade out, and now it seems like there's a spike in it. So what Alex said, do you see a need for this more now and then go back to having a center of excellence?
So I think we all might have a little bit different experiences with the center of excellence, right? So the center of excellence that I'm familiar with from the kind of like the big tech is engineering excellence that drives the standards for coding. Like this is our coding style, right? Here's how we use feature flags. So it's kind of like, how do we code consistently across the board with the best practices, right? So that's the center of excellence. And I think it definitely seen a rise recently. With the shift left that is happening, the center of excellence is needed because we have to guide the developers of how to develop the software with the best practices and follow the testing best practices earlier in the cycle to deliver the code efficiently and frequently, right? So definitely there is a rise of the engineering excellence, and I'm a big fan of that. But Alex, I think what you're calling out is also how do we automate business processes with AI? And that is a very great area that ZAPTEST is also helping with, right? Great application for using AI to automate any business process that we have in our organization.
So what we see in the market, the way we approach it, we're pushing for a center of excellence when we're speaking with the executives. And our promise to the market that we're going to equip you permanent personnel that have been with the company for many years, that know by heart what needs to be automated on either side, as a centralized, unified technology that will be able to create automation services within the organization driven by your personnel. Make sense? So that's done by AI. In the past life, couple of years ago, we've been enabling ourselves as automators to do robotic coding. Today, AI copilots do that much faster. We have an analyzer that can analyze all the documentation that you have. Everything done in the streamlined way. You've seen the demo. You've seen how quick it's done. But there's always gaps in the process. And those gaps known by people that have been with the company the longest. And there's never a perfect case scenario that's stored and polished all the documentation. There's always something that needs to be addressed manually, right? And for that sake, subject matter expert playing a fundamental role for the process. Another benefit from having center of excellence, if we're going to abstract ourselves from the fact that we have a computer vision technology that can automate any application of any texture on the UI level and API level. So if we don't have this issue, we technically can automate everything within the company. Make sense? From legacy application to the mobile apps, anything in between. So that brings us to the organizational aspect. So our goal as automation leaders to design the process which is going to consolidate all the skill set that will be between the automators that we have on staff and the subject matter expert that can also help out. And most importantly, we can plan for automating reusable artifacts. This is the key component in the budget preservation when we talk about automation. A lot of redundancy happens. A lot of organization spinning wheels in uncentralized projects, automating the same things without communicating with one another. Make sense? So when you consolidate all the automation modules and you don't negotiate what discipline you're doing it for, either for testers or the operational teams, right? You have a one centralized group that's capable to repurpose those automation modules on the per as needed basis, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I love that vision, Alex. I think that test automation engineers can definitely apply their skills to the business logic automation, right? It's a little bit of the mindset shift for, I think, a lot of companies because their business people sit in a different place from the engineering people. And so they're not always connected. So if you could kind of sell that and use the test automation engineers to automate the business processes, that would be a great efficiency improvement for companies.
Well, absolutely. And this is what I'm doing pretty much, trying to convince different level of executives that this approach will be efficient. But one thing what I see makes us move faster, it's a crisis. Once we start feeling crisis, market will be more adaptable. The point is, right now we're in a kind of sensitive positioning because the AI already here. Everybody in the clear mind understands that it does better job than humans, right? Organizations still kind of on the waiting path to see from which angle pressure gonna start arising. But this way or another, I think that we need to be moving forward now before this wave of the AI tsunami gonna basically hit us. Does it make sense?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I think there's one more aspect we didn't talk about with the ZAPTEST tool is that the people who can do the automation, they don't have to have the engineering skills or like coding skills, right? Like we forgot to mention that's a big plus of the ZAPTEST. And that's amazing. I've actually seen that in action, that it's possible for someone who doesn't have the coding skills to manage a set of the test suite for the, a website. So that would definitely, it's another big optimization, right? That you're offering.
Let's start with Plan Studio, our flagship AI-driven technology. Plan Studio leverages advanced AI models to evaluate, optimize, and automate test cases and use cases with unparalleled efficiency as seamless automation scenario modules. One of the most powerful features of Plan Studio is its ability to automatically transform test cases into ready-to-execute scripts. With a single click, ZAPTEST compiles steps, UI scans, and reusable parameters into scripts that adhere to best practices like modular design, parameterization, and event-driven validation. These ZAPTEST scripts are ready for further enhancements in our OneScript Studio.
I mean, in my position, I can be absolutely unfiltered and not bold. This is the purpose of this talk show. To tell absolutely naked truth to the community what we should be prepared and what we should be ready for, right? But when you talk to engineers, we as an engineer looking into engineering solutions. Right now, as we have AI working for us and giving us this boost, turbo boost, basically, in our productivity, conversation escalates to the leadership. So, and as a leader, as an entrepreneur that's basically represent the business, I always face business people, board of directors, CIOs, people that hold a checkbook. And the very first question, what is my ROI? With all the commotion before the engineering solution, right? So what we're gonna save with that? And this all comes down to the budget, right? So how much of the man hours we're gonna save with this approach versus what we already have, and what we're already forecasting for the next year. This is why I brought this topic today, because we're right in the middle of the year, and this is the perfect time for the groups, for teams to start regrouping, getting themselves ready for the next year. For case of emergency, if the budget's gonna be cut and it's gonna hit them. Make sense?
Yeah. So, Tatyana, as a director then, in the leadership that probably is involved in these type of discussions, how do you approach like a board or the higher ups to say, hey, I'm a director, here's what I'm seeing, what we need for quality engineering, we need a budget for this, or this is the ROI you're gonna get. How do you justify that?
Yeah, so I usually come up with some metrics, right? So that would explain why we need this tool. So for ZAPTEST, for example, it would be the development time, first of all. So based on the demo that I've seen, it would take a couple hours to put together the end-to-end UI automation test for someone who doesn't understand the coding, right? And then if I have to compare this for the, SDAT that would write this test, it probably would take a couple days. So you don't only get the time optimization, but also the level of the talent that is required to do this work, optimization, right? So these are the numbers that I would present. Like, let's say we need to create 500 tests, like roughly we estimate, right? Like this is how much time it would take an SDAT. The other optimization is in troubleshooting and debugging these tests. You know that maintenance of the test is a lot, more time than actually developing the test itself. It's probably like, 200x. So, and debugging these tests, from what I've seen, it's much easier because the tool relies on the visual, it matches the visual components. It doesn't use the DOM to match the elements, right? So, and it's much easier to know what was wrong. So basically it would say like, hey, this button was not there, or this button did not do what it was supposed to do, or it did not navigate to this page. So you definitely also save on the debugging costs for this test. So all of this can be put in numbers, and then we can basically justify like, hey, I need a 10 people team to do this without this tool, and I need a 2 people team to do this with a tool, right? And the skill set of these people that will be required to manage the test using this tool.
Love it. So Tatyana, I guess also Alex always talks about beyond tests, and he talks about business processes that we talked about today as well. Being a director of quality engineering, is that something you would approach as well, or is that skipping silos? Do you say, hey, not only does it help us with functional automation, but also we have operations here that we can leverage this for as well?
Yeah, so it's usually skipping silos, like business teams are a lot of times outside of engineering, not even like quality, right? So this is definitely, like I mentioned, it's a mindset shift, right? That Alex, you can sell to their organizations, and then they can say, okay, let's do it, right? If this tool can do both, why not? But you might have to sell to multiple executives. One is that runs business operations and one that runs engineering, let's say.
I always try to sell to the one that both of them report to.
That's very nice.
There you go. There you go.
And Alex, don't you have like a licensing in place that allows someone that if they brought it into, say, one organization, that if someone started like, wow, can I use it? It makes it's easy to use in other organizations as well without having to purchase more licensing. Am I understand that correctly?
For sure. We offer unlimited licenses. So the reason for unlimited licensing, we started it in the good days of the glory of Seleniums and the web drivers, right? So every single grapple that we had an opportunity, why would we need to adopt ZAPTEST per cost, and we're not the cheapest one, versus what we got with the frameworks and the Selenium frameworks, right? The WebDriver frameworks. And my answer to that historically was that we offer a much more efficient technology. Even though it's per cost, we offer an expert on the top that's going to be guiding you and automating alongside with you. But most importantly, we offer you unlimited licenses. So once you onboard us once in the one group, it starts feeling like open source technology, because every single group worldwide, let's say if you're a large international institution, everybody worldwide has the rights to start using ZAPTEST as is for all forms of automation, for UI, API, automation, for DevOps, BizOps, anything you can automate, even performance automation. Make sense? So we can scale up very quick. Usually the way it goes, one group adopts us, they build a success story, and we broadcast it, we do product awareness to everybody else. And we got testimonials, we got a use case, and others adopt us as well. Yep. So from scalability perspective, once one institution opens the door, everything moves very, very fast at that point.
Love it. So Tatyana, at this time, we usually like to play a game called Stump Alex ZAP because it seems to have answers for everything. I love that you're the guest because I think you probably have some scenarios you've seen over the years. I probably could stump them. And the game goes basically, you tell Alex a situation, technology, organization type issues that you've seen automation fail, and see how he would handle it as Alex ZAP coming in with the his tooling to help the organization.
Well, Alex, this is going to be a challenge for you, and I'm not sure the ZAPTEST solves that yet, but maybe this is the future that we can tap into, right? So I know that ZAPTEST is very good with the UI automation. It can do that quickly and efficiently, which is a big value, right? And it also can do some of the API testing and hook that up with the UI automation. That's perfect, right? So I want to kind of like also talk about the integration between the services. When we go to big tech and the very complex system architectures that have a lot of systems that integrate together, and there's a lot of effort that goes into testing the integration. So I just want to know what's your vision and how would you solve that with the ZAPTEST?
Well, we offer API automation. So basically it depends on architectural aspects. It's not brainer. So we can interact. It's a modularized. So you can comprehend even the single API calls a standalone module. So you can apply and build any framework around API automation solo as needed. Make sense? Definitely there are some tools that offer architectural aspect of APIs. It's not our motto, but though we had this chat in the past, and I think this is something that I want to build by the end of the year, because it's said that it makes more sense this way. Again, wouldn't be the deal breaker, because you can do all this complex API architectural deliverables even right now. It just doesn't have a module that allows you basically to centralize it. And make sense? So this is the organizational piece of it, which basically we're planning to deliver. But today with what we've got, you can perfectly use API automation modularity that will offer all the data, test data, all the automation data, I should say, management. Because in our realm, we don't differentiate DevOps versus BizOps. We have a large institution, worldwide institution that using us at the full scale. All the developers using us for unit testing API, automators using us for UI testing, BizOps using us for business operations. Matter of fact, they use Center of Excellence, which deliver across the board. So that's also helped them to organize skill set better, because you don't need to negotiate which automator is available for you or which SME is available for a particular project. If you don't have artifacts that you can plug and play that already been automated, you can reappoint people that part of your team under your management to deliver particular tasks in a much faster way. Yeah, but API is there. We definitely all eyes on API. I'm a big fan of API because API, especially very essential piece of the RPA automation, where we have to go from different angles, either UI or API, front or back, to drive the process from end to end. Absolutely.
Automation is evolving, and so should you. ZAPTEST.AI empowers your team to create a software automation center of excellence, where innovation and precision drive results. Transform the way you work. Visit ZAPTEST.AI to learn more.
I'm looking forward to see this in action someday in one of the companies, and then we can say that we don't need SDETs anymore if we can solve that, But for now, I'm kind of saving that for SDETs in addition to the UI test automation being solved by ZAPTEST.
Right. I'm just waiting for your company to send us an offer, so we're going to engage. It's a POC for 6 months, no cost. You don't even need to have a budget.
So, Tatyana, we put Alex on the spot. So I want to hit you up with 3 rapid fire questions. Just get your initial response to them. AI is the hot thing right now. ZAPTEST can handle it, but I'm just curious to know your take on some of these things. First one is, what's one practical way you see testers using AI effectively right now?
I would say writing the test plans and defining the test scenarios. You can just, if your company allows you, you can put your documentation or the document into the AI and ask it to come up with the scenarios, or even just in your own words, write down what you're trying to test, and it will create the test plan for you that is like 80% of the work done. And then you just need to, adjust it.
Great. Second one is, what skills or habits do you think testers need to develop or stay relevant in an AI-driven future?
Understanding how AI works and what it is behind the scenes, and not just kind of like the hype and what it can do for you, is very useful to figure out how to actually use it appropriately. I've seen so many times already AI is not being used well. So I've seen, like marketing people asking AI to give them the, hey, give me the results of 100 Alice's. What would they think about my product? And they use that as a basically information that guides their selling strategy. And I'm like, there's no way I can give you with 100% accuracy. It might give you with a 75% accuracy, but definitely, not 100. So understanding how AI works is, I think, is super important. Start with that. And then it will help you to understand how to use it in your work better.
And last one is, are there any common misconceptions or mistakes teams make when trying to adapt AI in testing?
I can't think of mistakes in testing, but I've definitely seen the mistakes in other industries like the one I just mentioned. It's just people think that they trust the AI 100%. They think that if the AI can answer a question, that they can take it for granted. Like basically, hey, that's the truth. And that's not the reality, right? Like AI can, make up data for you or give you the data that is super not useful. So there's always a human that needs to be there reviewing the results and making sense of it. It's not going to be autonomous for a while, right? So we cannot trust it fully. We have to check its work.
Alex, how do people trust ZAPTEST? And I know you're full AI automation at some point. How do we trust these tools?
Well, let me put it this way. Next year, we probably still need few people in the process, but we're working on that. So, and we had this conversation with Lee a few episodes back. Yeah. So, one of the biggest challenge of humanity in general, and of course our industry and the test automation and software automation, will be trust in machines, trust in AI, right? So, that's going to come gradually once the technology going to improve, and we constantly, as a toolers, as a vendors, we constantly improving our agents to be smarter and smarter. And this is what we do. We basically adjust in details to pick on that and improve it. So I see that humans still need it in the process for sure, in much lesser percentage than it's used to be with the way we building the AI-driven processes. But as we're moving forward, that need will start diminishing. And what I know for sure, good professionals, no matter what you do today, you always will be used by your company elsewhere, or another company will be gladly to adopt you. And I'm not suggesting that people are going to lose the jobs. I'm suggesting that organizations, first of all, you can automate much more. And I keep saying the same thing. There won't be enough automation, because as soon as the software develops, there will be needed to, and the processes improves, it needs to be automated. Either it's going to be automated by people, or it's going to be automated by machine. It's a different point, and who's going to do what, right? But the point is that people understand the aspects of the automational process. automation process. Either it's going to be a requirement on the of the automation, or it's going to be assessment of the accuracy of the source code. They always will be in demand. So I encourage everyone continue, as Tatyana said, continue improving your skills that you're going to be using next year. So that's maybe getting familiar with AI, learning the prompt engineering better, and yada, yada. So there's so much you can do to get better as a professional, that much you can do to be useful for your organization, even if they're all going to shift.
All right, Tatyana, as I mentioned, you run an organization that runs events. Do you have any upcoming events that are happening that could really help maybe testers that are struggling with these type of topics we covered today?
Yes, we have 3 meetups in May that are coming up. One of my favorite meetups that is coming up is about the Valia framework by Jason Huggins. We're super excited to present that and have Jason as a guest on our meetup. And we also have the Innovate conference coming up on June 5, where we're going to have 200 quality professionals, enthusiasts, sponsors, and companies figuring out the future of QA. The conference was created for us to drive the discipline forward and build the test community. So please join us on June 5 in Seattle and for our virtual and hybrid meetups.
Love it. And Alex, any parting words of wisdom you want to leave?
Yeah, so in addition, I want to wrap up with the call to action. I want to ask automation leaders to reach out to us. We have a very easy evaluation process. It's 3 steps. We're going to do 1-hour demo. We're going to show you the solution. It's an autonomous automation process, which allows deliver more with less man hours. We're going to have another meeting, which is going to be a live proof of concept. Right in front of you, we're going to automate any process that you'd like without any prior preparation. And once you're satisfied with that, we're going to engage in a contract where 6 months, you don't have to pay us, and you can walk away from the contract if you don't like what you see. This is how confident we are that ZAPTEST.AI can meet your expectations. So please reach out to us, book a demo, be happy, and let's zap.